Today we'll be taking a look at the best Sony cameras you can buy today, and as usual we have the links to all the Sony cameras mentioned in this video in the description below. And be sure to subscribe for new content and drop a like below. Now let's get straight to the video. Number 5. Sony a6400. The Sony a6400 is effectively Sony's middle a6000 series camera, fitting in above the a6000 and newer a6100 model and below the new top-of-the-range a6600. But it still packs a super fast, super high-tech autofocus system and great 4K video capabilities. Its still image quality is very good, but really this camera's strength is as a vlogging tool for single-handed content creation. Its 180-degree screen is the key here, flipping up and over to face you to help your framing, facial expressions and delivery as you present video pieces to camera. The specs of the top-of-the-range a6600 are better, but you have to be careful with any camera, and with Sony models in particular, not to pay for high-tech features you don't need yourself, such as cutting-edge AF or burst modes. Number 4. Sony a6000. Although it was launched way back in 2014, the a6000 is still one of Sony's best cameras. Moreover, it significantly undercuts the newer a6400 and even the basic a6100, which will ultimately replace it. Indeed, it's currently little more than a third of the price of the top a6600, with its APS-C format, compact camera styling, and access to Sony's range of interchangeable lenses. It's a small body that packs a big punch. Resolution from the 24.3 megapixel image sensor is good, though the 1440K dot electronic viewfinder and 921K dot tilting screen shared by the other models in the series now look distinctively low res. The a6000 lacks the ability to record 4K movies, but general performance and image quality are very impressive, and it's terrific value for money. Number 3. Sony a7 II. For a long time, the original Sony a7 was the cheapest full-frame camera you could get and was one of our favorite Sony cameras, but it's proving pretty hard to find these days, and its replacement, the a7 Mark II, is, to be fair, a much better camera. The big advantage that you get with the Alpha a7 II is built-in optical stabilization. This allows you to get steadier shots in a wide variety of lighting conditions and works with any of the range of E-mount Sony lenses. Autofocus and startup times are also faster than those in the a7, the former thanks to a 117-point phase detect AF system that works in combination with 25-point contrast detect AF, ensuring sharpness no matter where the subject lies in the frame. This 24-megapixel CSC is also pretty small for a full-frame camera. Prices for the a7 Mark II are falling just as they did for the original a7 before it, and right now this is the best bargain for all for full-frame upgraders. Number 2. Sony a7R Mark IV. The R models in Sony's a7 series cameras are designed first and foremost for resolution, and the Sony a7R Mark IV certainly delivers. The previous a7R Mark III set the standard for a time, but the a7R Mark IV brings a new record-breaking 61-megapixel that has the highest resolution of any Sony, or indeed any full-frame camera. The detail rendition is spectacular, though the gain is perhaps not quite as obvious as the bare numbers might suggest. So although the a7R Mark IV beats the older a7R Mark III model on paper, in reality the differences in outright detail rendition are smaller than you might suppose. This does mean that although the a7 Mark III is technically superseded, it's still a high-resolution camera by any standards, and likely to be available at much reduced prices now too. The a7 Mark IV has prompted many people to compare it to the best medium-format cameras, but we think the larger sensors in medium-format models are still a very telling difference. It's not just about megapixels. Number 1. Sony a7 III. It might not have the blinding speed of Sony's top-flight a9 II or the ultra-high resolution of the a7R4, but the Sony a7 III grabs many of the best bits from these pricier models and delivers them in a more pocket-friendly package. Headline features include highly effective 696-point AF system and a 5-axis image stabilization system that promises 5 EV of compensation. There's a 24.2 megapixel back-illuminated image sensor coupled with the latest generation of image processor, and the two deliver amazing tonal range and make super high ISO settings possible. Handling is good, though some may find the body a little small when paired with pro lenses, but that applies across the Alpha range. For top performance at a sensible price, it's the best Sony camera out there, but it's holding its price very firmly, and for still photographers, the older Sony a7 and Sony a7 II are very tempting and cheaper alternatives. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.